Andre, and this is Osteo Knits. I can be found on Instagram as Osteo Knits and on Ravelry as Osteo Andre. I am a university professor in Northern Ontario, where I teach forensic science and human osteology, hence my friends here. I am predominantly a knitter, but also dabble in crochet, drop spindle spinning, and other fiber crafts. So I dabbled with posting little videos on Instagram, and I'm going to take the leap and try this out. A little bit about what to expect. Chaos. There won't be a sea of beige here. Here my neutral of choice is black. I like jewel tones. I try to be open to new techniques, learning new things. I don't necessarily follow trends. I just knit what I like. I guess we'll get right into it. This year I'm approaching my knitting in a slightly different way. I have done the make nines and all that in the past, and I find that while I stick to it early in the year, I tend to get distracted by new and shiny things as they pop up, so it just gets derailed and there's no point. So this year what I'm trying to do is set plans month by month, so I do have a bit of guidelines, so it's just slightly less chaotic, and I tackle my pile of whips, and I still get to enjoy casting on new things. So what I have decided to do is every month pick out 3 projects, each have to fit into a category, and I work purely on those until one is finished, and then I can swap one in the same category out, or I can switch it up at the end of the month. So the 3 categories: one is a whip project, one is a new cast on, and the third is a scrappy project. So for the month of January, my whip were my Roll for Skull gloves by Wyvern Knits. My cast on was the In Bulk Meditation socks by I want to say Cheryl, it's not Cheryl. I think it is Cheryl Morgan. Yeah, either way, look up In Bulk Meditation socks. My scrappy project was what I call my book shawl, which I'll get into that in a bit. So starting with finished objects, I finished both the whip and the new cast on for January. So the Roll for Glove Skulls, I had Roll for Skulls gloves. I had test knit the first glove and then didn't do the second one. So here's the first one. This is knit out of, the brown is from Camp Fiber Yarns, it's a one of a kind, and the Variegatte is from Frosted Stitch, currently unreleased color. So this is a really fun pattern because you determine various parts of it by rolling a die. So you roll a die to determine what kind of ribbing you're doing, how long the ribbing is, are you using a Latvian braid, and then for each of these little skull charts, you roll a die twice actually. So everything's randomized, everyone's mitts will be different. So I knit the first one, didn't do the second until, well, this month. So here's the second one. I used the exact same rolls for my second mitt, except I reversed the colors for a little extra fun, and they fit beautifully. They're so comfortable. They're perfect for my chilly office. So I have these set aside for myself here. But definitely check it out. Wyvern Knits has a bunch of patterns that use this rolling the die to determine what you do. which is really fun, right? Adds this element of randomness, which maybe because I'm a chaos gremlin, I just love that. My cast on project, again, the In Bulk Meditation socks, finished. They are knit out of a one-of-kind colorway from Dying Wishes Yarn Company on their Necro Neps sock base. So you have the little tweety bits, but it's this nice golden color, felt very appropriate given the theme. And then the pattern itself is like these really neat cables that almost look woven. I don't know how well it's coming across, but it's tightly clustered and then spreads out a little bit. Really, really neat pattern. The heel is a Fish Lips Kiss heel. This was my first time ever doing this type of heel, and I really, really like the fit. So despite this super awkward name, I'm probably going to do this heel again. Okay, so those were my FOs. So I finished my cast on and my whip. So I swapped in a pattern within the same category to work on for the rest of the month. Now my cast on I can't show you because it's a sample for the frosted stitch in an upcoming colorway that has to stay under wraps for now. But it's gonna be good, I can tell you that. It is a Venlo tank by Sandstone Knits. I'm still working on the front panel, but yeah. The whip that I swapped in is my Stria cardigan by Andrea Mowry. How well can I show this off? So I've been working on the sleeve this month. I've got a marker here so you can see how much progress I've managed to get done this month, so about 3 inches. The sleeve now reaches right around elbow length. Yarn I'm using is from the Frosted Stitch. It's her library collection. The main color is Pages. The stripes are all of the other colors except for Archives. The pattern itself, like, it's giving me a beautiful fabric. I know I'm gonna love this cardigan when it's done, but it's a little tedious to work on. So I definitely lost steam on it this past year and I've been avoiding it. So forcing myself to work on this month has been really, really nice. It's encouraging to see how much progress I've made. Like, this is more than I've done on the sleeve than I did all last year. So yeah, encouraged to see some progress on it. That does not mean I'm going to continue to work on it next month because I need a little break. But we'll probably be seeing the Stria again. I do look forward to having the finished garment, but it's the making it that's, yeah, I've lost the excitement for it, and I'm already dreading sewing in all those ends. But it'll happen eventually. Okay, the scrappy project that I started focusing on is, as I mentioned, my book shawl. Now, what that means is that this shawl documents the books I read last year, because I started it last year. Each row represents 100 pages in a book, and the color is determined by the type of book that I read. So blue here is nonfiction, orange is contemporary fiction, red is horror, etc., etc. I was quite a bit behind on these. In this month, have put in 12 rows on the shawl. Yay. I have about 9 left, I think. So this was my scrappy project for January. I'm going to continue working on it in February because I should be able to finish it. There is a border to make around the edges, which will hopefully hide all of those loose ends, otherwise I'll have to sew them in. It's been a really fun project. It's fun that it's using up all kinds of different scraps, and it's going to be a very good shawl size. So all of my whips. So like I said, I'm going to be continuing to work on this one in February. My cast on for February will be the literary shawl by Sun Daughter Knits. That is a pattern that I'm testing, and I'll be testing it using more super secret yarn from the Frosted Stitch. So very excited to be able to share that eventually, but my photos will have to be limited to black and white for a little while. What I can share is my whip that I'll be picking up again in February, and that is the Moon Phase Socks by Northwood Knits. So again, I tested this pattern, only knit the one sock, and then didn't start the other one. So that's going to be rectified this month, which is fun. It gives me a fun little sock project to work on, and beyond this little bit of color work, it's smooth sailing vanilla sock knitting. The yarn I used is a sock set from Leo and Roxy. The yellow is Batshit Crazy, the red is Vixen, and this like bluish gray is Mixed Steamy. So those are my plans for February. The scrappy shawl, Moon Phase sock, continuing to work on the Venlo sample, and my test knit for Sun Daughter Knits, the literary shawl. It's been really fun, this approach in January, because it's encouraging to see how much progress I can make on my projects when I focus on just a few of them, rather than just being like constantly distracted and picking up a different thing at different points in the day and feeling like I'm not going anywhere on any of them because I'm making such little progress on all of them. Focusing on just a few has been really nice, and it just feels good to finish things, clear the needles, and move on to new things. Speaking of new things, I have a few acquisitions, not too much. This one I received really early in January, and it is the January colorway for Floof Fibers Spooky Yarn Club, and it is inspired by Hocus Pocus. It's really fun, bright magenta, purple, bluish green. I've absolutely loved every single color that's come out in this collection. I haven't bought all of them as much as I've been tempted to, but just buying some excellent stuff. I resisted. I didn't order the February colorway, but I will probably get March's. I have, however, subscribed to the Frosted Stitch Mr. Stitch Club. So this is a monthly club. Every color is inspired by flowers, and the January color is Jade Vine. So here's the sock set. It's this really bright blue the streak of darker blue, almost purpley. And I have the sock set with the 2 minis here. Really fun, bright colors. Looking forward to what they've cooked up for February. I am trying to be a little more intentional with my yarn purchases. Not that I'm aiming to like get rid of all of my stash or anything, but just that I've gone through periods of buying more yarn than I knit, and I just want to be able to enjoy it and work it up, and it's just kind of been piling up. Yeah. But of course I can't resist the frosted stitch. I'm not sponsored in any way. I'm just friends with Krista, and she shows me things and I just say, I need that. And it comes home with me. That's all that's going on there. So I believe that's everything knitting wise. Like I mentioned, I've recently gotten into spinning with a drop spindle. It's been really fun. I finally got my own drop spindle. I had originally borrowed one from somebody at the local spinning and weaving guild, who gave me a quick little lesson on it, and then I was just kind of off to the races and spinning up a storm. I've spun up one whole ply in like a black merino, and now that I have my own spindle, I'm spinning like a second ply that I want to ply with that original black one, and it's in like a red, a green, and a purple. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they join up, what my finished product is out of that, and to just kind of venture out and try new things. I'm really enjoying kind of like the tactile part of the spinning. It seems to be very forgiving, especially I've heard once you ply things, it kind of evens things out, so I'm looking forward to kind of that part of the process. In doing drop spindle, I can see kind of the advantages, like where the spinning wheel comes in, and I'm considering it, but I'm not making that leap just yet. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with the drop spindle. It's just too bad it conflicts with other habits. In terms of life things, this is my second term in my first year in a full-time teaching position, so it's been a learning process. I'm very much enjoying the stability of having a full-time job. I love the people that I work with. I have a great group of students, and yeah, it's been really, really fun, but a lot to learn, a lot to handle, a lot of kind of figuring things out as I go, but still kind of new and shiny and exciting. So gonna ride that wave for as long as I can. I am an avid reader. Seems like a lot of knitters are as well. In Canada, we have this thing called Canada Reads, which is like a battle of the books. It's televised on CBC, it's also on the radio, but basically 5 celebrities or known people pick a book, and they're like champions for the book, and they narrow it down week by week to like one final pick of the year. And it's been my tradition for several years now to read all of the finalists. So that's kind of what I go crazy into until the debates in March. So far, I've read 2 of the finalists, and I'm working on the 3rd right now. I've read Shut Up, You're Pretty, and the name of the author is escaping me. I know her first name is Tia. The second book was called Bad Cree by Jessica Johns, and so far that's my favorite. Really, really enjoyed Bad Cree. Lots of dealing with dreams and a little bit supernatural. Very, very cool. Some family resolving dynamics, and I don't want to spoil anything, but really, really good. And now this third one that I've started is called Denison Avenue. And I'm like 50 pages in, and yesterday I was in tears. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but it starts with the sad, so yeah. Deals with Chinatown in Toronto and changes through time. Seems to mostly center with this married couple from China who came to Canada in the late 50s, early 60s. Probably, I'm guessing, because I'm only 50 pages in, probably dealing with their journey here as immigrants and their experiences and the changes. Yeah. Very much enjoying it so far. I'm reserving ultimate judgment until I read it, but it's already made me cry, so that's probably a good sign. Beyond the Canada reads, I do also have a non-fiction book on the go about the Donner Party because, yeah, I'm creepy. I can't escape creepy topics. And cannibalism, right? Yeah. I don't necessarily only read like weird, creepy things. I do essentially read anything and everything, but these things just tend to find me. Yeah. Anything else? I'm going to a trivia night tonight, which I'm super excited about. I haven't been to trivia in a very long time. I used to go regularly, and then lockdowns and everything, and it just wasn't the same, and changing dynamics. But a trivia host that I've really, really liked in the past is hosting a trivia night in a little pub downtown, and I'm super excited to see how that's gonna go. Yeah. It used to be my tradition to go to trivia with a pair of socks and have a beer. It's just perfection. Everything you could ever want. Maybe I'll take my moonface socks. Anyways, yes. Maybe I'll cut this down before I ramble on more and more. So that's the first recording. Maybe there will be more. Hopefully there will be more. Hopefully I update you on how the moonface socks went. If I ever finish the Osteo cardigan. Probably not in the next month, but hey, stranger things have happened. I hope this has been entertaining, at least in some way or another. Let me know how you're approaching your crafting this year. Have you done a Make 9? Do you have any goals, or are you just kind of throwing caution to the wind and doing whatever feels right? Let me know. I'm curious. And hopefully until the next time. Bye.